everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Misinformation Show hosted by me, Amber Star McTerry. Okay, we're going to get into some things because apparently I stepped on a lot of toes when I said I'm not an African American. I am a Black American. I had a lot of Africans coming for me with their nationality, with their flags in their bio, getting mad at me because I want to be called an American. Like the issue isn't of me being of African descent. Okay, obviously I am of African descent. I'm not a white person. Okay, but do we call white people in America European Americans? They are of European descent. Do we call them that? No. Do we hyphenate African with any of you guys' nationality? Can I go to Jamaica and see you guys calling yourself African Jamaicans? Can I go anywhere in the world and call somebody an African European, African Asian? I don't think they classify any of you guys as that, but correct me if I'm wrong. What's the issue with Black Americans having their own culture? We have our own culture here in America. We're different from the rest of you and the rest of the world. Can I go to Africa or Jamaica and claim to be Jamaican? No, I cannot. But any person that looks like me can come to America and claim to be one of us and take our accolades and accomplishments away just because they look like us. Like, take the president, take Obama and Kamala, for example. Kamala is of Indian and Jamaican descent, but she's called the first African-American vice president. You're right. She has no Black American lineage in this country, and neither does Barack Obama. Barack Obama is an actual African-American, if you ask me, and so is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a white man, but he's from South Africa. So how am I African-American if Elon Musk is African-American? Make that make sense to me. The issue is, for a long time, we have been aiding in our own genocide, okay, by calling everybody Black. Everybody's not Black. Everybody's not one of us. And I get Black is a race, but at some point, we need to make a distinction, okay? When you put Black American together, that needs to be the ethnicity, okay? Because anybody can come here and be Black, okay? And then look at the border. You got people coming across the border, okay, and it's not just Hispanics, Latinos, whatever, it's Africans too. They're gonna come over here and they're gonna be called what? Black Americans. Again, can we go anywhere in the world and identify as someone else? No, we cannot. We go to Africa, we go to Europe, we go to Asia, they're gonna look at us as Americans. Okay, so what's African about me? And the crab boils. I made a lot of people mad saying, they don't do crab boils in Africa. They don't do crab boils in Africa. And if they do, it's in the colonized parts. Okay, like let's be for real. In the South, we do crab boils for special events all the time. Like from Christmas, my birthday, we always get like a crab boil going. Okay, that's like a signature Southern dish. Okay, like let's not act brain dead and low IQ. We eat spaghetti in America. Okay, we're not European. That just because they have crab boils in some parts in Africa does not mean that it's not a Southern American dish. Okay, like let's make that clear. So for a long time, we have been aiding in our own genocide by calling everybody Black. They got these people coming all across the border. Okay, but I am happy to see like a lot of Black Americans are like waking up and like realizing, okay, we all are not the same. Okay, and I think it's really an agenda behind this if you really look at it and pay attention. But we're going to get into that another day because really I still feel like a lot of Black people in America, like we low-key, y'all low-key still buying into like slavery and stuff by not calling yourself an American. Okay, you're not an African American. Like we've been here, at this point, we've been here for like hundreds and hundreds of years. What is African? I don't know nothing about Africa. I can't name not one African dish. I don't know none of those languages they speak down there in Africa. How am I African American? And someone commented on my page and was like, well, a Chinese person is going to identify as a Chinese American. Well, honestly, I feel like Asian people are different because they're obviously Asian. And then most likely, they have a grandparent who literally came from Asia. So they can identify as an Asian American if they want to. But I also know a lot of Asian people who just want to be American because all they know is American culture. You know, I don't know anybody from Africa, never been to Africa. I don't know, none of my family members never been to Africa. So I am an American. And again, I have nothing against Africans, nothing against immigrants. I'm obviously of African descent. But the point is the classification they give us in America as African Americans, when we never been to Africa? How are we African American when Elon Musk is a literal African American? Okay, something for you guys to think about. And speaking of that, this washed up, brain dead rapper, okay, who goes by the name of Plies, whose music hasn't been relevant since like 2008. I guess talking about Democrats is his only way to be relevant on social media now. So he had the nerve to call black people, well, Americans in general, lazy just because we don't want a lot of people coming in this country taking away our resources.
I done had a conversation with motherfucker about immigrants. Motherfucker say, oh, they just come over here and they take our job. Check y'all jobs. What motherfucking job? The job that nobody don't want. The job that everybody think they too motherfucking good for anyway. You're supposed to be greeting the motherfuckers at the border with motherfucking old moms, if you ask me. The reason y'all scared of the motherfuckers coming over here is the fact that they gonna come over here and show people what hard work really motherfucking is.
What a brain dead, low IQ, I don't know nothing about economics take, okay? This is not about jobs, okay? No one is concerned about immigrants taking jobs. I know people say that a lot, but right now, that's not like the top priority when it comes to immigration. Okay, these people are literally coming over here in droves, and they are going to replace the little bit of voting power and interest Black Americans have. And I think it is all by design, because lately, Black people ain't been fucking with Democrats like that. And they realize that Black people been supporting Trump. So they got all these people coming over here to wipe out our voting power, and he want us to like be happy and throw a party. All right, like make that make sense to me. Like more like for the past few years, I've been seeing like more and more like people wake up to just like giving their support and vote away to any person who's just a Democrat, like just because. Like that vote blue no matter who thing has been dying down. So now I feel like we have just taken one step forward just to take 20 steps back. And this guy is telling us to have a party. This is why people like this don't need to talk about politics. There are people in America suffering from gun violence, homelessness, all kind of stuff. And you have people coming over here, breaking federal laws, and he wants us to have a party and be happy. Make it make sense. I just saw on the news this morning that like 7 migrants got arrested for beating up a police officer in New York. They went to jail and was released with no bail. But we should be having a party? Make that make sense to me, okay? And for one, is he going to say that to the people in Chicago? Because clearly he has no clue what's been going on in Chicago and New York. Plies lives in Florida, okay? And I'm gonna say this. I was living in South Carolina most of my life. I had no interest in politics until I moved to California and saw what was going on in California. So maybe he's kind of like unaware as well because he's in Florida, which is like a good state, and don't know what's going on. So maybe he should go talk to those people in Chicago and New York and go tell them they're lazy and don't want to work. Go tell them that and see what happens. Actually, I have a clip of the people in Chicago complaining about their resources being taken away because so many migrants are coming to their city.
Over 500 people in our community would completely wipe out any interest we have.
I did get placed on a wait list, but I was told that the immigrants was taking priority.
Resources that have not come to us, now you want to overly compensate for people who never lived here before, and we need to be taken care of first.
We are at war, people. Our communities are at war. They are violating our communities, and we asking that we across the country, and we asking and we're demanding for office of Black America or whatever you want to call it to deal with issues like this.
If you give me 3 meals, housing, child care, education, a voucher for $9,000, you know what? I come to Chicago too. And that's what they're doing. They're telling people and they're sending money back to back to Venezuela to come to Chicago because they're saying, hey, the good times are rolling there. They're taking care of everybody.
Notice how they're sending these migrants to cities that are majority Black, okay? There are plenty majority. I don't want to bring up race because I'm not a racist person. Why don't they send them to like somewhere in Pennsylvania or like Maine or like something? Like, you know, notice how they're sending them to these black cities to wipe them out. That's not the only place they can send them because those aren't the only cities that vote Democrat. But be aware of that. Okay, so is Plies going to go to these people and tell them they're lazy and they don't want to work because they don't want the migrants coming to their city? It's not about jobs. These people are coming here, taking away, like I saw a clip earlier of an after-school recreational facility that's going to turn into a migrant shelter where they were trying to in Chicago that a lot of black kids use to go to for after-school programs. Do y'all see the crime rate in Chicago? They should be doing everything they can to keep these kids busy so they won't go into the wrong lifestyle. But apparently, those people aren't the priority in that country. So I want to challenge Plies to go to New York or Chicago and talk to the people there and tell them they're lazy and they should be welcoming the migrants with open arms. And I want to see his reaction. But of course, he's not going to do it. He's in Florida, living the life with no migrants. He also went to Instagram to talk about Biden and Kamala needs to learn how to brag. But what can they brag on? Brag on what? The fact that we feel poor? The fact that the border is wide open and they're letting everybody in? The fact that inflation is high? What are they going to brag about? There's nothing to brag about. Inflation went up to the highest it's ever been in history. So the fact that it's going down doesn't even mean anything because it's still high.
Dear motherfucking Joe Biden and motherfucking Kamala Harris, because I'm sick of it. Can somebody teach y'all how to motherfucking brag? Motherfucking stock market doing way better under y'all than it did under him. Job numbers way better under y'all than it did under him. Motherfucking GDP. People wages at the bottom going up more than the people wages at the top. Inflation going down. Gas prices going down. And y'all can't figure out how to motherfucking brag?
Again, brag about what? What are they going to brag about? You talking about inflation, gas? Gas is still high. Gas is still higher than what it's been when Trump was in office. Inflation is still high just because it went down a little bit. And he's talking about jobs. What jobs? Okay, yeah, jobs are up now, I guess, because we had COVID and everyone was out of work. That's not an accomplishment. The jobs are only up now because we had a pandemic. Okay, so people like this just don't need to speak on political issues. And I'm glad if you go to his comments, a lot of people are like letting him have it. And I'm glad no one's like agreeing with him because he sounds really stupid. This is gonna bring me to my next point. Another entertainment figure that I have an issue with is Charlamagne, the god, or whatever you want to call him. I want to know if Charlamagne going to come out and apologize to us for being a part of the propaganda machine that manipulated people into voting for Biden? Because I've noticed that lately he's been like trying to straddle the fence, like trying to play it safe on the things he said just because he know he was wrong, but he also can't admit that Trump is the better option, I guess because he works for iHeartMedia and he's still tied to some puppet strings or whatever. Lately, Charlamagne has been going around saying he's not endorsing anyone for 2024 because he's learned his lesson and he's just been like trying to say, well, I don't know what to do. Like they already said Trump was, we lived through a Trump presidency. I don't know what to tell my audience. He went on Joy Reid recently and basically asked her, what am I supposed to tell them? As if he's working for somebody. Like, what do you mean? What are you supposed to tell them? You're supposed to tell them the truth. Okay. How do you really feel? I feel like he knows who the better option is, but obviously he can't come out and say Trump 2024 because he's going to be faced with some consequences, being that he still works for iHeartMedia. Okay. So recently he went on Joy Reid and pretty much asked her, what am I supposed to tell them?
When people are calling you, and specifically black people, what are they saying they feel they have not gotten out of having voted consistently for Democrats and for Joe Biden?
Upward mobility. Simple as that. Like people want security, and a lot of that security is financial. Like it's simple and plain. And it's been, whether it was President Obama, whether it was, all the way back to Clinton to now Joe Biden, they feel like the Democratic Party has never promised that. And it's like right now the problem I'm having with my listeners, what am I supposed to tell them? Like, what am I supposed to tell them other than Look, man, Donald Trump is a fascist. You may think things can't get worse, but they absolutely positively can. But if they feel like, I've already lived through a Trump presidency. I lived through Reagan. How much worse can that get? Like, it's like, what do I tell them? They're not afraid of just telling them to go out and vote because of fear anymore.
He can't say it. You can tell, right? You can tell he's going to say Trump 2024, but he's not going to say Trump 2024 because he works for iHeartMedia. Okay? Let's be for real here. He said what people want financial security. Yes, he's right. But last time we felt financially secure was under Trump. Let's be for real. It ain't even about the stimulus checks. Before the stimulus checks, the economy was better. Like everything was cheaper. In California, I was getting gas for under like $2.99 or something. Like, be for real, gas at one point gas was like $5, almost $6 over here now. He wants to say Trump 2024, but he can't. He's scared. He's going to get fired or like he's going to get slandered. He knows what to do. I saw an interview he did with Politico where he said in 2024, it's a race between the cowards, the crooks, and the couch, referring to Biden, Trump, and the option to stay at home. My question is, Biden is a coward. I can say that. We all know Biden is a coward, but how is Trump racist and a crook? I want to know what's the answer. When has Trump been racist? What legislation has Trump put in to harm people of a different race since he's racist and a crook? I want to know. Because before Trump even became president, we all know Trump was big in the hip-hop community and rap songs, going to doing interviews with the guy from G Unit. I forgot his name. Tony Yayo, I think that's his name, right? I don't know. But he was like heavy in the hip hop community, right? So it wasn't until he became president that people started calling him racist. So I want to challenge Charlamagne.
Democrats loved him before he was a Republican.
They did. Everybody loved Trump before he became a Republican and ran for president. But now I guess since he's a Republican and going against their racist agenda, because Democrats are the real racists, by the way. They're the only one focused on race and like all these stuff like that. They're the ones separating us from everybody else. Like this people of color thing, we gotta let that go. That's another thing that's contributing to our genocide, calling us people of color, black and brown. No, because he went on Kamala. He was talking about Kamala like during the presidential campaign for 2020, talking about, oh, I'm glad Trump is like kind of making a way for the first first female president who's a person of color. What does that mean? Because she's not Black American. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say person of color. I don't care about that. Okay, we color. Whatever. But that's another phrase we got to stop using, that POC and that BIPOC stuff. Because, no. My challenge for Charlamagne, I want to know what exactly has Trump done to be racist? And don't bring up that Central Park thing, because he wasn't even president by then, and everybody thought those kids were guilty. It wasn't just Trump. Okay, he put out an ad, all right? He thought they was guilty. That don't mean he's racist. He didn't put that ad out because they were black.
And you know everyone's going to bring up the BS Muslim ban.
Oh yeah, right? Exactly. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, no, I need some legit facts. Like, what has Trump done? What legislation has he put in? If you ask me, not to sound like, I don't care how I sound, not to sound too crazy, but Trump really is the best president, but for black people personally, since Abraham Lincoln. I mean, he really is. But Trump came in here and he put like opportunity zones in black communities. He helped with the First Step Act. He got people out of jail for the crime bill that Biden did, okay? For weed, minor stuff like that. He helped get people out of jail for that. Okay, and he's the only one that can relate to younger black people. The man released Kodak Black from jail. Like, come on, man, be for real. You think Biden cares about any of that? Biden helped put the crime bill in place. He don't care about that. And then he tried to release some people last year, I saw, for the weed offenses, trying to copy Trump. But, Trump did it first. Okay, so apparently Charlamagne said he's not going to endorse anybody for 2024 because he learned his lesson last time. I'm sure you did learn your lesson. In the Politico article, he said, I learned my lesson from doing that. Once they got in the White House, she kind of disappeared. You think she disappeared? She used your platform to get to the people she wanted, and now she's gone. And now you're surprised? Ha, please. I'm not surprised. And they came here and did nothing they said they was going to do. Okay, the student loan forgiveness. I don't know. I saw like my aunt got her student loans forgiven, but she's a teacher. So they was going to get their student loans forgiven anyway. I still have student loan debt. So they lied about that. They lied about a lot of other stuff. You know, and now he's shocked they disappeared on him. Good for you. I'm not gonna let Charlamagne forget. We're not gonna let anybody forget how you were a part of the propaganda machine that manipulated people into voting for Biden. Then you had the nerve to go on these news media like CNN and the like to say, well, I'm gonna vote for Kamala, not Biden. How does that make sense? Kamala's the vice president. If you're voting for Kamala, you're voting for Biden. Don't try to be slick. He didn't want to say Biden because everybody was aware that Biden wrote the crime bill. Biden was a politician for like 50 years and never did anything for black people but want to come and base his campaign on fighting racism. Okay, racism is still here. Racism is not going to go away, ever. It's been here and it's going to stay here. No politician is going to save anybody from racism. Okay, so if any politician come out here and saying, we're going to fight racism, they're lying. Okay? That's just a talking point they use. So let's remind Charlamagne of his support for Kamala.
I love the idea of our Black Party, and I want you to note that Diddy said the main interest for our Black Party this year is to get that fascist out of the White House.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love the pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office, and then we got to hold him accountable.
I'm voting for Kamala Harris. I'll tell you that in a heartbeat. I'm not necessarily voting for Joe Biden. I'm voting for Senator Kamala Harris. You don't know. I think I want it to be Senator Kamala Harris, only because I feel like, you know, Donald Trump is setting the stage for the first woman president, specifically a woman of color.
But see what I'm saying? Come on, he's voting for Kamala. You see how he tried to play it slick that whole time? Because honestly, Kamala's the only reason Biden is in the White House. Everybody was so happy to have a black VP when she's not even black. So I want Charlamagne to tell us, just come out and say Trump 2024. Because I know that's what he really want to say, but he ain't gonna say it. And then what's crazy is a lot of libtards are seething at the mouth because he's not saying Biden 2024. If you don't say Biden 2024, that obviously means you support Trump, right? I saw this article on MSNBC saying people like Meek Mill, Charlamagne the God helping push the MAGA messaging. Charlamagne, okay, honestly, he's not pushing MAGA messaging. He's straddling the fence. But I guess since he's not coming out and saying, oh, I want Biden to be my president, I guess that means he's Team MAGA. So do you guys see how that POC thing that is fucking us up? Like, y'all see who y'all let in the White House all in the name of POC? This is why we need to separate ourselves and realize we are different. We have our own culture. You just can't come over here and say you're a POC or a BIPOC and now you're one of us. No, because she's not going to have black Americans' interests at heart. And Biden had so many different options to choose from, like the mayor of Atlanta. I saw, like, even Stacey Abrams. I don't like her, but she's a black American. You know, he skipped over all the black Americans to pick someone of Indian and Jamaican descent. Does that all ring a bell to y'all? Never have we had a black American president, a black American vice president, and I think that's all on purpose. They would never put a person of black American descent in that White House. Why? Because they think we're still slaves. Like, be for real here. So I wanna do a poll. Okay, I wanna take a poll, and I'm gonna put a yes or no option down here, and I want you guys to let me know if you agree with me or what is your answer. The question is Ben Shapiro a culture vulture? I would like to know because recently, if you guys haven't been aware, Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj had a little rap beef going on. And while this rap beef was going on, Ben Shapiro released a song with, I think his name is Tom McDonald. Yeah. Yeah, he released a song. Yeah, right? Ben Shapiro released a song with Tom McDonald called Facts, okay? But he had the nerve to, like, insert himself in the Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion beef. Because his song was charting at number 2 and Megan Thee Stallion was number 1. So he tweeted at Megan and said, "Hey, Megan, we're coming for thee. And also, Nicki Minaj is correct about your flow." But my question is, what do you mean Nicki Minaj was correct about your flow? Because on January 2nd, 2012, you tweeted, "Fact, rap isn't music, and if you think it is, you're stupid." So if rap isn't music, why are you on a rap song and then trying to get clout out of Nicki Minaj and Megan's beef? So is Ben Shapiro a culture vulture? If you don't think rap is music, why are you participating in rap music and trying to like get some clout off the beef in rap music? You can't. Rap is music, okay? Just like they have pop stars who can't sing and you have some who can actually sing, we have rappers who can't rap and some who can actually rap. So for you to sit here and comment on Megan Thee Stallion's flow when you said rap isn't music, as if it isn't real talent to have flow and spit words like that, it's giving culture vulture. So I want to know, do you guys think Ben Shapiro is a culture vulture, or is he just having fun? I think he's a culture vulture. I don't think he even likes rap. He likes nothing about rap. Although Tom McDonald is like one of I guess you can call him like a modern day conscious rapper because he talks about like real life issues going on. If you know who Tom McDonald is, then you can realize there's levels to rap. Okay, so you can't just sit here and say rap isn't music. And then he goes on this show sometimes and try to read lyrics about rap music. So you sit on your show all day and try to make fun of rap music, but then you want to benefit off rap music whenever it benefits you. He hates rap. So what do you call somebody who hates rap but want to come on and hop on a rap song just because he's benefiting from it? But Ben Shapiro says a lot of stuff. He could be, although he's very intelligent, he says like a lot of dumb stuff sometimes. So maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I still want to know, do you guys think Ben Shapiro is a culture vulture? Thank you guys for tuning in. This is my second episode of The Misinformation Show, and I have so much more in store for you guys. So tune in, subscribe, and I'll be back again soon.